Hello everybody and welcome back to a brand new video. We just hit 33.5k subscribers. Can we get to 34k by the end of the month? Please like this video down below and subscribe to the channel. But before we get started, I'd like to take some time to tell you guys about My Patriot Supply. We live in a world that is in crisis, one that we do not know what to expect next. As Americans, we need to be prepared, and that includes avoiding the long lines at the grocery store by stocking up on disaster food supply, and there is no better disaster food kit than the ones over at American-made My Patriot Supply. Take action so you're ready for what's coming and save $100 on a 4-week supply when you go to my special website, preparewithredeagle.com. Those that know what's coming are preparing today. Go to preparewithredeagle.com. That is preparewithredeagle.com. But today we're going to get started and we are going to analyze the expert maps for the 2020 election. I'm not going to be doing my prediction, but this is kind of one of those battleground maps. These are the experts. I'm going to have my own. But we're going to look at the expert maps and see if Trump has paths to 270, see what Trump needs to do to win, and see what Joe Biden also needs to do in order to win the 2020 presidential election. So I'm going to be using some maps that I made throughout this of swing states that I have here that are going to help guide the situation, because I've made several maps of swing states, and basically you can look at the trends by congressional district. Some of them I did by county, basically seeing where the trends are, seeing what's going to happen, and looking at how the 2020 election is going to be won. And there's several districts here that I'll show you. So first of all, this is the consensus map on 270to win.com here. I did not use YapMS because YapMS for some reason has not updated these maps in like 7 or 8 months. So we'll work on that. I'll try to get YapMS to increase their willingness to edit the website, but that's fine. That's enough of that. So this map has Hillary Clinton's states actually filled out all blue. So all the blue states are Hillary states. There's basically nothing else that Trump can do. He can't pick off any more blue states according to the consensus. I don't believe that's true. I think Nevada in the likely column is far too harsh. I think New Hampshire, putting it lean blue, is a little too harsh. Same thing with Maine at large. Yes, Joe Biden could end up winning all the states that they have blue, but at the same time, it's just not necessarily a good look because you do have some potential for these states to flip. We are going to look at the states here, the state of Nevada in particular, that they have likely blue. Every county trended red from 2012 to 2016. It actually still trended red compared to the rest of the country in the midterms, actually. Dean Heller got a higher percentage of the vote total in 2018 when he lost to Jackie Rosen than what he got in 2012. He just was not that good of a candidate. There were a lot of people that voted third party in the 2012 election that kind of helped him win. Does that mean Trump's going to win Nevada? He possibly could do worse in Nevada. A lot of this red here could actually turn blue. But at the same time, it's really looking like that's just speculation from this point forward. Nevada is probably a tilt to lean D state at the moment. I do expect it to remain competitive. The Arizona map, however, is troubling. Now, Democrats are improving basically everywhere except for Prescott's district, which is Paul Gosar's district. Paul Gosar, who is absolutely epic, by the way. His district trended red. Every other district trended blue. Now, I do think this is going to change. I think if you look at this district right here, this Dem 5 to 10 district, that is a lot of Mormons live there. A lot of them actually voted third party. Evan McMullin, Gary Johnson, or stayed home. Turnout drop was big from 2012. That's why I think Arizona has a potential of still staying Republican, and I think it actually will, because you're going to see third-party vote share decrease. Now, it's going to be thin. I think they're going to vote actually to the left of Wisconsin in 2024. If Republicans nominate another populist, they're going to lose it. Now, they could very well pick up states in the future besides Arizona that make up for it, but Arizona is a neocon-loving state. That's basically what their MO is. That's their domain. So personally, I think Trump has got Arizona, but at the same time, we'll never really know. Florida is another state. I did a trend map here. You saw a lot of the improvement was actually in the middle of the state, the rural middles. Yes, the panhandle is what pushed it into Trump's column at the end of the night. but at the same time, the Panhandle didn't trend red as much as some of the other exurban parts of the state and rural parts of the middle of the state actually trended. So it's very interesting stuff, and if you look at the midterms, if they're any indication, you have a very popular governor. Some are saying that he's done some things lately that have dropped his approval rating a little bit, but it could be up by the election as well. They're very immune to midterm waves, and they actually love incumbents. So I really would expect Florida, no matter what, to stay in Trump's column, probably in the lean, because I would expect a continuation of the trend in the rural counties and potentially a buck of the trend in places like Miami, where DeSantis and Scott almost got 40% in. Trump could very well improve in Miami-Dade. He's not going to crack 40, but he very well could improve. So yes, Florida already trumps to 244. Now we have to look at the state of North Carolina. I did a map for this as well. You're seeing a lot of common trends here. Definitely, if you look at North Carolina's 9th district, that's this district right here, the one where we watched the special election where I predicted that Bishop would win, and Bishop actually did win. He won by 3, but that's still a 6 to 7 point trend away from what it was even in 2016. So the trends are going to happen, but at the same time, you had a district go redder. That same night, North Carolina's 3rd actually went redder than it did in 2016. So you see a little bit of a trade-off here. You're seeing some parts of the state get redder, and Appalachia is what's saving it from becoming a lean D or a swing state. I still think it's going to lean in Trump's column. In fact, I think that the tilt representation of it is not even exactly perfect. Now you look at some of the other states that they have here as toss-ups. Wisconsin, if you look at the Wisconsin change map and you look at what changed and what the trend was, personally, I think that this map, the blue in the WOW counties, I think that those conservatives, those establishment conservative neocons there have warmed up to President Trump. So I definitely do believe that Trump will improve in that district, in that area. However, the questions are, will Trump be able to hold his rural margins where they were? Yes, the district is trending, this district here. Went Republican by over 15 points. Republicans won the district, but they didn't even run a representative because they didn't even think it was going to be super competitive. But at the end of the day, it actually was very competitive, and it trended in the Republican column by over 15 percentage points. Now, will Trump win the district again? That can tell if he's going to win the state of Wisconsin and hence the election again, or he could lose it. He could actually still win the state if he loses it. He could actually lose the district and win the state by a wider margin. If you look at the Trump versus Biden primary turnout, that's exactly what happened. Trump beat Biden by 3. Yes, it's a little bit of a false equivalency, but Trump won by 3, but he lost that district. Personally, if you look at Wisconsin, Wisconsin could go red. We have another map here. Michigan as well, a lot of red here. There was some blue in a little bit of blue in Oakland County. That one suburban district that trended blue actually trended blue by like 0.1, and a lot of the blue in the blue district on Amash's district, that's the Grand Rapids district, high third-party turnout, that district could actually trend red. Maybe Trump is a little bit maxed out in some of these places for now. Possibly he could continue his improvement on Michigan. Even if you do give Michigan and, Pennsylvania, I have a map for that. Even if you do give these states to the Democrat column, Trump could still win through the state of Nebraska's 2nd district. Now, Nebraska's 2nd district only went to Trump by 2. One could say it's trending away. It did go red in the midterms. However, at the same time, it was a Bernie bro as the Democrat nominee. But however, a more moderate Democrat running against a more standard Republican, Raybould lost to Deb Fischer in the state of Nebraska in the 2nd district. She lost in the 2nd district by roughly 1 to 2% if my calculations are correct. So at the end of the day, it's really looking like it's probably going to stay in Trump's column. You do have a lot of third-party vote share there that will decline. That probably will help Donald Trump. And if you look at the state of Pennsylvania, I believe I did a map for this as well. A lot of red, a little bit of blue in the Pennsylvania suburbs. That's what's going to keep Pennsylvania competitive over the next decade. I would expect Michigan and Wisconsin to go toward the Ohio, Indiana, Missouri type of safe red state column. Pennsylvania has a difference between Western Pennsylvania and Eastern Pennsylvania. Western Pennsylvania, the Pittsburgh area, that'll get redder. The Eastern Pennsylvania, which is Philadelphia suburbs, those are going to get bluer, and yes, you'll get redder in probably places around Scranton, Allentown, things like that. So if you look at this map and you see there's a lot of red across the state and a little bit of blue, we're really wondering what's going to change. Will it change that much? I don't think it's a big change election. I don't think the trends in either direction are going to be super, super big. However, at the end of the day, even if you do give Pennsylvania to Trump, he'd be at 290. If not, he'd still be able to win with Wisconsin and Arizona. So now we're done looking at the maps. I'd just like to go through these other so-called experts' predictions. Sabato's crystal ball is the first one. Now, these are absolutely terrible. In 2016, Sabato had Trump losing Ohio, if I recall correctly, and things like that. Was absolutely abysmal. I think they had him at 200. Yeah, they said no path to 270. Okay, but there was a path to 306, so I don't think they knew what the hell they were talking about, because I don't really understand how they missed that victory. I still don't know how they didn't see it, but they're very, very elitist people that run the media, that run the elections community as well, that predict these elections, and they usually fail. And they were even off in 2018 in many of their predictions and many of their races across the country, especially in the Senate. So North Carolina, I would expect North Carolina in this map. Trump can win with North Carolina. Arizona, he'd need Wisconsin. If he loses Arizona, he could still win with Pennsylvania and Wisconsin. He can also get Nebraska's 2nd District, 279 to 259 in that case. So it's very interesting to look at. Trump needs Arizona. He needs Arizona, Wisconsin, Pennsylvania. Michigan's a good state. Obviously, it's hard to see a situation where he would lose Pennsylvania and Wisconsin, but somehow win Michigan. But even in this case, it would not be enough. He's going to need Arizona. It's almost certain. Arizona and one of the Rust Belt, he probably can win all three of them. In fact, he could add Minnesota to that coalition as well. Looking at this map, also, there's a couple more. Cook Political Report. This is another similar one. This one actually has Ohio and Iowa in the likely column, but somehow has Texas and Georgia in the lean column. Obviously, I can see Georgia. Personally, I think Texas is likely. I think this map underestimates Trump. And if you're going to be putting Georgia in the lean column, you might as well probably put Florida as well. I know they use some of the polls. They haven't updated this in roughly a month, so it's very interesting to look at how it plays out. But again, in this case, it just gives Dems 232, does not give Trump a chance at Minnesota, does basically say there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's the common theme. There's 6 battleground states, and there is 1 battleground district. And Trump very well could sweep all 6. Apparently, he needs to win Florida. He needs to win Arizona. He needs to win North Carolina. And he needs to win one of the magic 3, as well as Nebraska's 2nd. If he wins Wisconsin, there is his path to 270. It's a common theme. So basically, he's going to need to win out of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or he'll need to win 4 out of the 6. He needs to basically win 4 out of 6, assuming he keeps Florida. So it's very interesting. He's probably got North Carolina down in Florida. That's why Arizona's the battleground. Wisconsin, Michigan, Pennsylvania, they're the battlegrounds. Again, you look at the trends and you're going to say, will these trends continue the pattern that they are in? We'll have to really see, and we'll have to take a look at that. So inside elections, this is one that actually has Pennsylvania and Michigan in the tilt D column. It actually gives tilts. Kind of premature. It's also weird that they have Maine's 2nd District in the tilt column, because Maine's 2nd District actually went for Trump by over 10 points. Yes, in the midterms it went blue, but those are midterms. Again, you can't really predict 2012 with 2010. 2018 is a little bit more representative of 2020 because there was higher turnout, but still, you had a lot of Republicans that stayed home, and you actually need to factor that in to the final electorate. So again, you have only, at this point, you have a narrow path. They basically have the Dems at 268. They say Trump needs to win every single thing on this map. And by the way, if there's a tie, I think Trump can actually win, assuming he flips the Iowa delegation back red, and I believe Michigan or Pennsylvania, which are actually tied right now. It's very, very complicated. But I do believe that Michigan and Pennsylvania should be toss-ups, honestly, at a very minimum, if not tilt-R. So again, you look at that map, and Politico is one of these weird maps because they actually have Oregon, Rhode Island, and Delaware not safe. But when I do it and I say that, people laugh at me because they see the headline. They say, oh, Red Eagle says, could Oregon flip? Because that's headlines. That's how you do headlines. then they say, oh, you're an idiot because you think Oregon's going red, or they see the 400 electoral vote meme video and think that that's my actual opinion. That's not what's going to happen. Otherwise, I would not be making this video. But if you look at this map, this is a relatively fair map. Honestly, I would put Minnesota in the toss-up column. I think it's very early to make that categorization. Personally, I also think Texas and Ohio and Iowa should be likely. Also, Utah being likely is kind of weird, but if they're making Delaware and Rhode Island likely, it's kind of understandable why they would. However, even if you did run a third party, personally, I still think Trump would win the state of Utah by, 15 to 20 points at a very minimum. You saw that happen with Evan McCucken back in 2016. He failed absolutely miserably, and Trump's proven himself to a lot of these people. He's proven himself to a lot of these, Mormon conservatives, and at a very minimum, he'll beat Biden there by roughly 20 points or so. And if there's a third party candidate, he'll probably beat him by, 10 to 15 at a minimum. And they'll probably will put that neocon there. I don't know who they'll get to run as the third party, but they're going to fail miserably. The neocon revolution, the Romney coalition, that's dead. Trump took over the party, he made it better, and that's why he's going to be able to win. And if any third party tries to come in like Justin Amash and try to stop it, guess what? It's not going to happen. So anyways, guys, thanks for watching this video. Make sure you like this video down below, comment down below, and subscribe to the channel. Hit the bell for notifications so you never miss another video. Follow me on social media, join the Discord and subreddit, donate to the Patreon, and subscribe. Star links in description. As always, guys, thanks for watching. Red Eagle, out.